Have you ever wondered how hormonal birth control works? In the first part, we talked about how the brain regulates the menstrual cycle. So if you haven't watched that yet, I suggest you start there because that will help make this video make more sense to you. We've already talked about how the hypothalamus releases GnRH and how that tells the anterior pituitary to release LH and FSH, which then goes to the ovaries and tells them what to do. What we haven't talked about is ovulation, or the release of an egg, which is necessary for pregnancy. The release of the egg is controlled by the LH that is released by the anterior pituitary, and there won't be a release of an egg unless there's a surge of this LH. There are two main types of hormonal birth control pills. One is progestin only, and the other one has estrogen and progesterone, and those are called combination pills. The progestin that's in both types of contraceptive pills works through that negative feedback loop that we discussed in part 1. Essentially, the progesterone goes all the way back to the hypothalamus and prevents the pattern of GnRH release that is required to tell the anterior pituitary to dump the amount of LH needed to cause ovulation. The progesterone also works by thickening the mucus that covers the cervix to prevent sperm from entering the uterus to fertilize an egg if it is released. The estrogen that's in combination hormonal contraceptive pills also uses that negative feedback loop to decrease the amount of FSH released. And what that does is it prevents the ovary from creating what's called a follicle that essentially is a pre-egg that can be ovulated when the LH surge occurs. So long story short, the hormones that are in contraceptive pills work by changing the signals that are in your body that regulate the menstrual cycle to prevent the steps needed to allow for pregnancy when taken correctly. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and we're happy to answer them.